Yo, have you ever snapped on someone and instantly regretted it? That wasn't weakness. That was untrained emotions. See, today we're going to talk all about it. We're talking about the power of emotional regulation. I'm giving you the tools to go from emotionally triggered to emotionally trained. Are you ready? Let's go. Hey, what's going on? I'm Terrence Sams. Listen, today I'm giving you 5 powerful strategies to help you stop being reactive and start walking with focused power. Strategy number 1, pause before we proceed. See, when you're triggered, your emotional brain takes over. It's wired for survival, not success. So by pausing, you activate the logical brain, and you also create space between the stimulus and the response. Now that space is where all of your power lies, baby. I'm telling you, it gives you the chance to choose your behaviors instead of being hijacked by it. It also teaches your nervous system that you're not in danger. You're actually in control. See, your emotions are like wild horses, and pausing is actually like grabbing the reins. So you can't ride a wild power until you harness it. Harnessing your emotion, it may be difficult, but it is necessary. See, studies show that a delay in response, it reduces emotional regret by over 70%. In Proverbs 29:11, it reads, "Fools give full vent to their rage, but the wise bring calm in the end." See, what it's saying is that wisdom, it doesn't rush. It waits, it reflects, and it chooses. But pausing, now that's just the first layer. Now, if you want to really shrink intense emotions in seconds, strategy number 2 will change how you see your feelings. Strategy number 2 is what I like to call name it to tame it. See, emotions are like a code on a computer, and we can decode them by naming it. And so when we name them, you shrink the intensity. Neuroscience proves this. They say by labeling your emotions, it activates the prefrontal cortex, that decision-making part of your brain, and it calms the amygdala, which is the emotional response part of your brain. So basically, you go from feeling out of control to feeling seen and safe. See, once you name what's going on inside, you gain leverage over it. There was a research at UCLA, and it found that naming an emotion reduces the amygdala activity and it increases your emotional clarity. See, we have to name the problem before we can solve the problem. Now, I'm going to give you exactly how we do this at the end. So we're going to move on to strategy number 3 because it's a game changer. It actually might be the one thing that's keeping you from your breakthrough. Strategy number 3. Look, one of the most powerful and effective ways to regulate your emotions is by shifting your story. Let me break this down for you. See, your brain is a meaning-making machine. Your emotions are shaped by the stories you tell yourself about what's happening, not just the event itself. When we shift the internal narrative, you shift your emotional response. And this is called cognitive reappraisal. It's one of the most effective emotional regulation tools in psychology. Now, the cognitive behavioral therapy, the CBT, it shows that reframing situations improves emotion regulations and it reduces stress. What I'm saying is that your brain is a movie projector. If you don't like what you see, swap the reel. We can find this mental swap in the book of Genesis. Joseph was thrown into a pit by his jealous brothers, and then he was even sold into slavery. Later, Joseph, he was in prison for something he did not even do. But Joseph was able to reframe the situation in his mind. See, he believed that although his brother's evil plan to sell him into slavery was evil, but it was ultimately used by God for good. It was used by God to save his family from famine and preserve countless lives. He said, hey, you meant this for evil, but God meant it for good. Now, before I give you the next strategy, I need you to hit that subscribe button if you're really on a journey for emotional regulation. Strategy number 4, move the energy. The emotions don't just live in the mind, they live in the body. Like unprocessed emotion becomes tension, it becomes tight. But physical movement shifts the chemistry of your body and it helps process that emotional charge. Like studies show that exercise reduces cortisol levels by up to 30%. And it also elevates dopamine and serotonin. What I'm saying is that movement clears the static and recalibrates your inner system and your mind. Emotion is energy. It's energy in motion, so don't let it stagnate. Let it flow. Energy must be redirected, not ignored. Like for example, you may feel anxious before a presentation. So just go for a walk for 10 minutes. Like do push-ups or dance before you speak. What I'm saying is just move that energy. Okay, so you got the movement down. But if you're still stuck mentally, then you're just a busy prisoner. But it's okay. This next strategy, trust me, it will shift your whole life. Strategy number 5, choose your response over your reaction. Reaction is driven by your past, but response is driven by your purpose. See, when you respond instead of react, you show maturity, you show power, you even show clarity. This is the difference between living by default and living by design. Your response is your responsibility. See, in the book of James chapter 1, verse 19, it says, everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Like Jesus responded with wisdom, not impulse. He could have called down angels in the garden, but he chose to surrender. He chose purpose over pain. And look, it's not easy. I'm not here to tell you that it's easy, but it's possible. Listen, you can't always control what happens to you, but you can control what flows out of you. The world doesn't need more reactors. It needs more regulators, more people who can feel the fire and not get burned. People who can sit in a storm and not sink. You have that power. It's in your breath. It's in your awareness. It's in your discipline. And it's in the word. So here is the now, the nuggets of wisdom. This is something that you could do right now to shift your situation, okay? Number 1, I want you to create a trigger routine, okay? For example, if someone disrespects you at work and you feel the heat rising, I want you to pause for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale for 6 seconds. Like before you do anything, pause 4 seconds, hold, and exhale for 6 seconds. Do this at least 3 times before you even speak, and trust me, this will help you regulate your response. Number 2, I want you to add this to your trigger routine as well. Whenever you feel triggered, pause and practice this phrase. Let me take a moment before I respond. Like say that out loud, like really. Let me take a moment before I respond. Like build it into your vocabulary. And number 3, journal your day. Like practice identifying your emotional triggers. Practice even identifying all of these emotions throughout the day and write them down. But avoid being general, right? Instead of saying, I'm upset or I feel bad, I need you to be real, be raw, be specific. Like you could say, I'm frustrated, I'm embarrassed because I felt overwhelmed because, and fill in the blanks. Be specific with your words because the deal is in the details. So look, if you like this video, you will love 5 ways to recognize the victim mentality within yourself.